Greetings, Glitter Gang, and happy Thursday. Welcome to Kathryn Scraps Live. It's the first stream of May, and this May we are going to be doing vintage Kathryn Scraps, which is crafting without a net, or more accurately, without any kind of plan. So just what I used to do, I've been doing this since 2009. My channel's had evolutions over the years, and sometimes I just get paper I wanted to play with and I wouldn't know what I was going to do with it, and then I would just do it. So that's what we're going to be doing. So this is a new series. It's going to be live on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time and 9 p.m. Eastern USA time. The recordings will be on YouTube, and I will make a playlist. So let's go ahead and get started. Just as a reminder, we will be doing this through all of May, and the last Thursday in May will be our book club. And we will not be discussing that. We'll be discussing this, the Lager Queen of Minnesota. So that is coming up, and that will be part of the series. So that'll be the last Thursday in May. Of course, it's 2022 when I'm recording this. So last Thursday in May of 2022. All right. So right here on my desk, I have my Staples box, which is the box where I put things that are like... well, as you can see, I have wood veneers in here. I've got brads in here, tiny paper clips in here. I've got hole reinforcers in here, that kind of thing. And I'm just gonna go through here and see what I've got that's like an album base, or that could be used as an album base, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm going to be pulling out. So stuff that's not necessarily like an embellishment. Just going to pull all that. 7 Gypsies. When did they go out of business? This is vintage Kathryn Scraps. Vintage. All right. Okay, so definitely vintage. I'm gonna leave out the hole reinforcers just because if we do a chipboard base, I'll want those. But I'm gonna set this off to the side for a minute. How is everyone? Hope you're all doing well. Is everything good with audio and video? We had a little blip where instead of pressing the start recording button, I pressed the stop broadcasting button. Luckily, I pressed start broadcasting again quickly enough that I think YouTube was able to figure it out. Okay, so we've got paper bags in 2 sizes in craft and 1 size in white. We've got envelopes in naked pockets, they're called, in 2 sizes. We've got naked tags. I have a bag with, let's see what's in here. Coin envelopes, tiny paper sacks. I think these are graphic 45, and then just old school shipping tags. Ooh, basic gray. When did they go out of business? Oh my gosh, look what's it. Okay. Man, more coin envelopes from graphic 45. I think this is probably 7 Gypsies. Stampin' Up. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, you guys go in here, I guess. All right, what else have we got? We've got more 7 Gypsies. I think these are just notebooks, so I'm going to leave them in their little wrapper. Okay, this is from a project I did for a cherry on top. One National Scrapbook Day, which was to adapt this Tim Holtz thing. And I think it came in 2 sizes, and I think I used the larger one. I've written measurements all over it. What we may do is recreate it. in some way. Was there a bigger one and I used the bigger one? Yeah, interesting, interesting. All right. So as I go through here, if you have initial thoughts, let me know. Something on here is jumping out at you that you'd like to see an album made with. Share with the group, share with me. This isn't gonna turn into a Triple D album, but you know, you can let me know your thoughts. If it's gonna turn into a Triple D album, it's gonna take way longer than a month. I think that album took an extraordinarily long time. So we're not gonna go straight voting on everything, but let me know if anything is jumping out at you. All right, so let's separate some of this stuff into other things. Okay, so we've got tags. Some of them are stamped, some of them are not stamped, in a couple different sizes, a couple different colors. So this will be the tag bag. And then let's do things that aren't tags, which will be like these tiny paper bags. And these little coin envelopes and things. All right. So this is not going to be part of the project. So we'll go ahead and set this aside somewhere. Now, all right, so I kind of want to do something with cord. Like what I kind of am feeling is like a bundle of things. So like some kind of bag or sack or envelope or folder or something that holds like lots of little smaller things. It could be done as an album where things are put into the binding instead of us making like some kind of bag or sack or whatever. But I don't necessarily want to do like a straight paper bag album, but I'm not opposed to having pages in the album that are paper bags, if that makes sense. So I'm just trying to think of how best to do this. Like what kind of binding? You guys have any ideas? Are there any glittery thoughts from the group? While you do that, I'm just going to kind of go through some paper. Try and find something like vintagey and crafty. So like there's that one. Let's see. What else do I have? There's this one. I guess this one as well. This too. Maybe we'll mix a bunch of collections together. What else? Got this if I want to brighten it up, but it's still got some kind of vintage vibes. I have a lot of that. What else have I got? I have these two collections, particularly this one. This and that. Who's this by? Lori Whitlock. Who does she do? Echo Park. Interesting. Very not Echo Park looking to me. All right, who else have we got? Not that one. No. All right. All right, so let's see. You don't belong here. You go over there. Some old Bo Bunny. This too. Not you. Not you. Not you. Not you. Not you. No. No. No, 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 no. Okay. All right. So now we have to whittle down. Maybe we'll keep 3 collections. Maybe we'll whittle it down to 3. Okay, let's do this. Let's take this one and let's cannibalize maybe some stuff out of these other ones if I see anything that's kind of more generic. This is a love collection, so it's a little bit more. All right, maybe these, not this. Not this, not this. Maybe, let's think. Let's do this. Let's do 3 collections from 3 different brands. This one and those 2. All right. So we've got 3 different paper collections from 3 different brands. We're gonna mix them together in something kind of freeform, junky, that sort of thing. Okay. So this is what we're gonna do. I lost my microphone cover. I'm gonna put it back on. Sorry if it's loud. Okie dokie. So that's a good start. Got plenty of papers and embellishments to work with. All right. Okay, so then let's see. So suggestions are, let's see, Candy says she needs to make some sort of recipe folio by next Sunday. So something that could hold recipes. 7 says, how about using small paper bags to hold tags and then holding it all together with a ring? I have done an album like that in the past. So that's certainly, gosh, that was a long time ago for sure. So that's a possibility. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's make, let's see, let's think about a size. I have this 8x8 black cardstock, chipboard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. Okay, I have some ideas here. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do And then I'm also going to take a bigger piece of chipboard, like a 12 by 12, and we'll do something with that. We're definitely never doing a rose pocket ever in a million years. That was the deal the last time we did the rose pocket. So, all right. So here's what I'm thinking. If we do like a 6-page, and maybe we won't end up doing all 6 pages. We'll start with like 3 and we'll see how we do. If we do rings 2, 1, 2, then what we can do is we can put things on the rings, like we can put this bag on the rings, etc. So that, you know, and then we could put even the larger bags, we can put tags, small bags, these pockets, etc. And then anything like that. Maybe we'll make something that is, maybe we'll make it like this, where it closes on one end. So where it has like, you know, something that comes around to the front like this does, and make a closure for it. We could even make on the back page flaps like this, or a waterfall or something. So, okay, an idea is forming in my tiny brain. In my tiny, tiny brain. Okay, let's just start with what will be the front cover, which will be this. Okay, so I'm going to, okay, let's figure out, and we're using 8 by 8 because I just figured I'd use a chipboard without cutting it. I could do 8.5 by 11 as well. Do I want to do 8.5 by 11? I think I might, just because it's a very typical size, 1, 2, 3, but also because that black chipboard's expensive. So maybe I'll save it for when I really need black chipboard. Okay. All right, so 2, 1, 2 is going to be the binding. We'll use rings. I don't know if I have rings, but we don't need to bind it today anyway. It's 8.5 by 11, which means that the center is 5.5. So so let's make a, what is the word I'm looking for here? A template for the holes. And then we can use that template for all the holes for the book. All right, so first things first. I'm going to bump it down to 3 pages, 1, 2, 3. Because we are going to be jamming stuff in between. Now this is, all right, so I'm looking for a piece of cardstock. Here we go. Okay, so this this cardstock and this chipboard are both 8.5 by 11, as you can see. Nothing is square or true in crafting. So, all right. So our holes are going to be a 1/2 inch in from the edge. So I'm going to take my ruler and make holes a 1/2 inch in. And this is just to play. We're just going to have fun. Okay, so we need to make, okay. So my first goes at 5.5 because that's half of 8.5 by 11. And then these two, I want to divide 5.5 by 3, and that's where the other 2 holes are going to be. So what we're going to do is I'm going to divide 5.5 by 3. But I am going to use the 5.5 divided by 3. 5, 6. What a pain in the butt. Okay, so last time we determined that 5/6 is in between 3/4 and it's halfway between 3/4 and 7/8, or just about. So that's irritating. So, but the good news is, that once we make a template, we won't have to remember that. So it's 1 and halfway between 3/4 and 7/8. Okay, so what I'm going to do is line the ruler up on my mat so that it's slightly off. And then we're going to do halfway between 3/4 and 7/8, which is here, actually. And then I'm gonna move that over. Wait a second, I'm using the wrong side of my ruler. Okay. Yeah. So because I used the wrong side of my ruler, and again, it's halfway between 1 and 3/4 and 1 and 7/8. Well, actually, I don't think I want it. All right, let me change this. Okay, so let me do new math. 11 divided by 3 is 3 2/3. Okay, so there'd be something right about here. All right, I'm gonna try and decomplicate this for myself. 2.5, or not 2.5. This is half of 5.5 is 2 3/4. So I'm going to do 2 3/4. I'm going to make a mark, and then I'm going to do a line on either side of 2 3/4. So what I'm going to do is, so I'm making line marks at 2 3/4, 5.5, and then of this 2 3/4 mark, so that the rings will be, how far apart do I want these rings? 2 inches. I want the rings to be 2 inches apart. So I'm going to do a mark 1 inch over from either side, and then I'll tell you what that is. Oops. Okay. So we are going to end up with marks at 1 3/4, 3 3/4, and 5.5. So that's where they're going to be. All right, so I'm just going to do, so that's what they are. So if you're wondering where we're going to do the holes, that's where. 1 3/4, 3 3/4, and 5 1/2. Okay. Well, now I don't like the way that looks either. Okay. All right, see? This is crafting without a net, folks. This is this is what it looks like when you don't have a plan and you're just playing. Things go through multiple changes. All right. All right, so we're still gonna go with 5 1/2. So we still have a ring in the center, okay? But really what I want is like 2 rings that are, I don't know, like an inch and a half apart or so. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of centering this on my mat, okay? So this is my center point now. So if I want them to be an inch and a half apart, then the lines are here. And here. Do I like how that looks? Do I? I feel like it needs to be farther away from this guy. I would think I want it farther away. So let's do an inch down from the top. That way at least it'll be easy. An inch down from the top, and then an inch and a half over from that. Yeah, that's more like what I want. So, okay. So if you're like, well, what does that mean? So we're gonna, this is a, draw a line a 1/2 inch in from your long edge, and then, so that's this line, 1/2 inch in from the long edge. 1, 2 1/2, 5 1/2. This one's 10. This is 1, this is 2 1/2. So the question is just what's this? And it's 1 1/2 down from 10, so it's 8 1/2. Okay. Those are the holes. Okay. All right, so now that we have our template, just so that the template lasts longer, I'm gonna put tape over the holes, or where the holes are gonna be punched. Okay. And then we'll punch the holes. All right, so I'm going to punch these holes, and I do that by just centering that cross that I've made. Okay, so now that we've done that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick 6 pieces of paper to be the fronts and backs of our pages, our 3 chipboard pages, and then we'll get those covered and whatever else. So what we're gonna do is go to our 3 packs, and let's take 2 from each pack. Let's start with Echo Park because they're the more difficult pack to work with, in my opinion, but luckily they'll be being mixed with collections that will be easier to work with. Okay, so we're looking for stuff that would make a good cover. That would... Is there 2 of each? Ooh. Okay, that's useful. All right, so what I think I may do is take both of the cameras and then one more. I don't have 2 of all of them. I must have used this paper collection at some point. Okay. And these are embellishments. So these are the ones that I don't have 2 of. So I'll go ahead and put them, well, I'll leave them at the back. And then of the ones that I have 2, let me pick something for the inside front cover. And the one that I saw that I thought of was this. So this will be the front and back cover and the inside front and back cover. All right. Okay, so that's that one. So we've got paper from that collection. Where's your cover sheet? Okay. All right, perfect. So that's This and That by Echo Park. Copyright on this is 2012, so it's 10 years old. All right. Now, we've got these 2. Let's go to this. This is DIY Shop by Crate Paper. Oh! Copyright 2012. So we're going to go ahead and cut this open. All right. And now what we're looking for is what's going to go with this. Okay. And we need 4 more sheets. Definitely could do something like this. Probably not this. This paper is really hard to turn for some reason. Oh wow. What a struggle just to turn the pages. How funny. Okay. Maybe this. Maybe this. Not this. Maybe this. Not this. No, no, no. I mean, we'll use these papers later. Ooh, maybe that. Nah, not that, not that, not that. Okay. All right. So we've got this. These are the ones. Plus. So this one I don't like as much as some of the others. These two though, I do still like these. And I actually, these three actually, and I like these. So we'll go ahead. We'll use one of this. I'm going to take these two. And then I'm going to take this one and this one. All right. Okay. All right. So, all right, there we go. Oh, wait, did I look at these? Maybe there's somebody in here we like better. Bo Bunny, etc. Copyright 2011. Anything jump out at me from here that trumps what's over there? I'll add you. You two, you can go over there. Okay. All right. Okie dokie. Making good progress. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add these to the chipboard. And the way that I'm going to do this is I'm just going to grab this 3/4 inch tape. So Candy in the chat is saying that she still has both etc. and DIY shop in her stash. Well, now you can use them to make a junk recipe folder or something. All right, so I'm going to put tape on the chipboard, right on the edge. Ideally, I would put it a little bit over the edge and then sand it off, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go with the slightly less than ideal version of this project. All right, put some in the center so it doesn't move around. Flip it over and do the other side. So we are using our stash. We are making a junky, chaotic book. It's going to be full of little things like paper bags and whatnot. And anything that I use in this project that's like a paper bag or a staple or something like that, I'm going to go ahead and take one apart so that I can teach you how to make it so that you can make your own. I mean, I'm using stuff from companies that don't exist anymore. So like you have no way of getting it. So you'll have to make it, you know. All right. Burnish. All right. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is line this up with the corner. And it may not line up with both corners. That's fine. All right, burnish. going to cut it. So I'm going to use this knife to trim the edges. And then once I've cut it free, I'm going to run the knife along the edge so you can see that I will be removing any little bits that are slightly hanging over the edge. All right. So now that we've done that, we're ready. And I'm just going to burnish the edges one more time. Post cut. Flip it over. Wait, this is a middle page. I don't know why I started in the middle, because I want my life to be hard, I guess. Okay. So on the back of this, I'm going to do this. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to line this up with the corner and stick it down. Okay. All right, obviously I need to change my knife blade. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, all right, so this is now on the back of this. All right, so this page is done. This is page 3. It's the page in the middle. Oh, maybe I need to do 4 pages. I need to do 4 pages now. Okay, whatever. It's fine. Now the album has 4 pages. So once we get a page done, then we'll just put our template. This has one of those little short pieces that just keeps pushing back in. You know the ones. What the heck? This one too? What? All right, this pencil is not. Goodbye, pencil. You're done. Okay. Where's my good pencil? All right, you come here. All right, so now we're gonna actually mark our circles with a pencil that's not part of the problem. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and use the chomper. Not a chomper, it's a power punch. That's what these are called. And I'm going to punch my holes. Okay. Now I'm going to reinforce my holes. And I'm going to use the black, I think. And we are gonna use the crocodile for this. So these are self-piercing eyelets and grommets. They're made for leather working. The self-piercing is important. And you can get them on eBay in a bunch of colors. And these are 3/16. And 3/16 is what fits in a 1/4 inch hole. Okay? So get 3/16 inch grommets to fit 1/4 inch holes. And again, self-piercing. Self-piercing. And these are made to go in some machine that leather workers have. And what they do is they punch through the leather themselves. But I've just found that for leather working grommets and eyelets, and you do want to get grommets plus eyelets if you want the backs, that I have found that the self-piercing ones work better in the crocodile for whatever reason. I don't know what that reason is, but we could speculate if we wanted to. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay. So there's our page. Let's do brushed corduroy. Yeah, let's do brushed corduroy for this one. So we'll go ahead and trade out pumice stone, which we don't need anymore because we finished its project. And we'll ink the edges on both sides. And because it's vintage and meant to look kind of chaotic and, you know, not totally finished perfectly, this project, I'm just going to be quite aggressive with the ink. Okay, both sides. All right. I can tell this is going to be a messy desk day. All right. So there we go. One page down. We just need to do 3 more. All right. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Okay. So for the next one, let's start at the beginning with our front cover. All right, and now here's my tape. And I think I'm gonna have to eat a granola bar in a second here. As my hands are kind of shaking, I will try to chew quietly. All right. Flip it over. Oh man, I remember, you know, this used to be the only kind of album I made was covered chipboard, 3-ring binders, for the most part. Different shapes. different sizes. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're all having fun. I did kind of just jump right in. I didn't say hi to anyone. So hello and welcome. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. I am just doing what I feel like. There's not really much of a plan. This will be a very free form album. It will probably look cool, but you know, there will be some measurements if you do want to completely follow it. If a measurement is needed, I'll give a measurement. All right, so now we do know that we need to change this knife blade, so let's go ahead and do that. Right. I've had a terrible week. Nothing like happened. But I had just the worst experience with my monthly gift from Mother Nature. It just was a nightmare. You know, just terrible, terrible, terrible. So the whole week I've just wanted like, bleh. Felt bad. Bad, bad, bad. Headaches, multiple days just under the heating pad. Very upsetting. Very upsetting experience. Ooh, vintage camera cover. Very nice. Very nice. Oops, I can see some poking on the other sides. So let me finish removing the tape and then I'm gonna go run my knife around the edges. I would just be just fine being done with that. I don't know why. Okay. All right, so there's that. And then now we'll do the other side. Alrighty, there we go. All right, so now which way? I think this is, we'll say this is up, so good. Just going to use a pen. Now we punch. Okay, dokes. And now chompy chomp. Chomp, 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 not chomp. What is this? Crop. This is a crocodile. I guess if it's a crocodile, it's a chomp. Because that's what crocodiles do. They chomp. And then there we go. So my hope is to at least get all 4 pages covered shortly. Oh my gosh. What the? Oh. The crocodile escaped. Or at least it tried to. Ow. Doesn't realize that there's no escape. Apologies for the blender noise if you hear the blender noise. And this is brushed corduroy ink. Okay, perfect. Okay, so page 1 is done. Page 2, so it goes like this. Okay, that's how it goes. That's the so far. All right, so now we're on to page 3. And page 3 is gonna be this, I think. Or, well, I think we're gonna go with this. Page 3. Page 3 is gonna be this. And then on the back, it'll be this. And then we'll do the camera on the front and back as well. Okay. All right. Chipboard. I've already lost all my chipboard sheets, so I'll just get another one. Okay. Tape. Man, what a messy desk. What a messy desk. Where's my tearing tool? I don't know. Don't know. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Out of that roll. Let's get a new one. Oh wow, this one's not taped shut. Nice. Don't have to peel the tape. Although this... All right. Now, do it again. So my favorite part of crafting, as you all know, is the decorating and pockets and things. So I'm looking forward to the next section of this book where we're going to be doing something other than covering chipboard with paper. Now I got a year of Apple TV Plus free from my phone company. So, which I find Apple TV Plus, I mean, I appreciate the free year or whatever. I can't imagine subscribing. Their website is horrendous. Very, very anti-consumer. But like they don't, you can't access your saved to watch later shows unless you're on an Apple TV device or a third-party device with an approved Apple TV app, which a computer is not. It's just, Apple is just very in love with itself. Very in love with itself. And you can either love it as much as it loves itself or they don't care. So, but anyway, so Apple TV Plus has been pretty miserable experience to try and navigate. I did finally, we just bookmarked the Ted Lasso page because that's the Apple TV Plus page I had heard the most about. And so we have been watching that, and it is cute for sure. It is cute. So. It very, like if you liked Parks and Rec, I would think you would like Ted Lasso. It's basically the same thing where you have a bunch of like really cynical, disgruntled people who have to work with like an eternally optimistic person and the effect it has on everyone basically. All right. So, but it's, if you haven't heard of it, it's about a woman who gets her husband's football team in a divorce in the UK. So it's a soccer team. And she wants to destroy it. So she hires as a coach an American high school football coach. So an American football coach, not a soccer coach, to be the manager of the team. So, yeah. And he's the Leslie Knope of the show. So, and that's Ted Lasso. I haven't really learned much about soccer. So I still know almost nothing about it. I do know it played in halves now, and the only reason I know that is because he was at his first press conference and he said, we're going to leave, our best on the field every all 4 quarters or something, and they were like 2 halves, and he's like, oh right, it is halves. So I mean, I know about as much about soccer as the main character. So. Okay, so now we'll mark our holes. if I can find my template. All right. And then now that I've got my holes marked, I'm going to punch. All right, so now going to set my eyelets. But anyway, yeah, if you have Apple TV Plus, you know, add Ted Lasso to your approved Apple device. And I might watch Pachinko, but I keep, that's on my list to read, books to read, and I just don't ever do it. So I know if I watch a show, I won't read the book, so I kind of have to make myself read the book before I let myself watch the show. Where's the little, where's the eyelet bag? The bag of backs. This is why I don't like having a messy desk. All right. I have to clean. I have to clean. Oh, look at all my discovered tools. All right. Now I'm going to try to, like I normally would, include lots of places for 4x6 photos in here. And of course, if you have any tutorial, or at least, no, not any tutorial. If you have any album basics guides, you have instructions on how to downsize things. So if you want to do this, you know, smaller, you can. Okay, but you could do it 5.5 by 8.5. That could be a cute size as well. All right, so I'm now going to ink the edges with my brushed corduroy. Alrighty. Then that's about it. I have accomplished nothing. As I said, I was just having one of those weeks where I was just feeling sad for myself, feeling sorry for myself. All right, so now we just have to do the 4th page, which is the back cover, And then we'll be done covering all the pages and we can start working on embellishments. So this page, this last page is gonna just be a little bit different in that I am gonna add strap, I think. So I'm gonna think of a way to add a strap to it, kind of like this strap to the back cover, so that we have a way to hold it shut. So we are gonna have to add that. We might maybe add that at the end when we know how big it is, but we shall see. So last page. All right, and so this one is gonna be the same as the front, just the opposite of the front. So, and I think what I'll do is I may have to order some rings, because like I said, I don't know that I have any rings, or at least not somewhere where I could obviously put my hands on them. And I'd love to get some kind of black rings if I can. So we'll see how we end up, what I find, but all right. So now we'll peel the tape and add the paper to the last page. And what a fun start. It's interesting because normally it does take longer to get everything totally get the base pages constructed, you know, on albums with other bindings or whatever. So and then okay, there we go. Ready to add the back. So we'll do that. And like I said, we're going to be working on this project every week all through May. So definitely going to be spending some time on embellishing and what have you. I just need to check which way I put this on the front. Okay, so this is right side up. So now this weekend is National Scrapbook Day, and I've mentioned that I am not going to be doing anything on actual National Scrapbook Day. However, we will be doing something the Monday following National Scrapbook Day, which is that we will have a show, and it will be at 2 o'clock Eastern time in the afternoon. So basically the same time this show was is when it will be, and it'll just be a continuation of this project. And then Thursday, next Thursday, there will not be an evening show. So that'll be, the National Scrapbook Day show will be kind of to pre-cover for the evening show on the following Thursday, and that's because I have to go out of town. But we'll do, it'll be the National Scrapbook Day after party. So, okie doke. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my holes and burnish. And we will also be using this same template on all of our other pieces as well. So what I mean by that is like pockets, bags, etc. This is how we'll know where to make our holes on all of our other pieces that go in between these chipboard pages, because the bulk of the album is kind of between the pages, at least in my mind. That's how I foresee it going. That could change because there's not really like a plan. So, but we will figure it out as we go. All right. So now we'll set these and then we'll be done. And the book is finished. Yay! Get out of here, tiny fly. All right. The eyelets with the backs come from eBay, and they are a leather working eyelet, and they are called self-piercing eyelets and grommets. And if you go on eBay and you search, and they're 3/16 of an inch, which makes them fit perfectly in a 1/4 inch hole. Excuse me. So if you go on eBay and search 3/16 inch self-piercing eyelets plus grommets, they should come up in all different colors. And like I said, they're for leather working, and there's a machine that they work in. That's the self-piercing, is that when they're put in this machine, the machine can pierce through leather with them. Now that function is not necessary in crafting, of course, in this kind of crafting, because we don't use that kind of machine. However, I've just noticed, and it's just like my personal anecdotal whatever, is that leatherworking grommets that are labeled self-piercing work better in the crocodile than leatherworking grommets that are not labeled self-piercing. I've tried them both, and the self-piercing ones just fold over nicer. So that's why I recommend the self-piercing. But they're great. They're nice and big. They come in lots of colors. They're very inexpensive compared to crafting, like paper crafting eyelets and grommets. I like them a lot. And you can get 3/16 of an inch, which is very nice but you see here I have, this is bronze, black, nickel, any kind of color you want, you know, they have. All right. So we now have all 4 pages. So this is the base of the album. It's now complete. So this is how these main pages are going to flip in terms of, you know, the album base. However, the idea behind the album is that in between all these pages, we're going to stick all these all these kind of things. So, you know, we're gonna put that there and that there, and, you know, a coin envelope like that, and that sort of thing. Okay, so that's kind of how we're gonna add room for photos, pockets, inserts, things like that. We're gonna layer all these different little things. And like I said, anything that I use that's like this, that's pre-made, I will deconstruct it and we will figure out how to use it so that I can do a tutorial on how to make it, okay? And that way, no matter where you are, you can make something similar if you want without having to resort to a time machine. Because some of these things are from companies that haven't existed in I don't know how long. So that is going to be this part. This part will be posted on Friday morning, May 6th on my YouTube channel. And then the second part will be, which I'm going to record right now, will be posted on Saturday, May 7th. So this is going to be a series on YouTube as well, that you can follow on the recordings on YouTube if you don't have access to the archives. However, if you want access to the archives, there are links in the video description explaining how to get that as well. So this series is going to be live every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time and 9 p.m. Eastern USA time. And then recordings will follow within 24 to 48 hours. So you can, and I'll put them all in a playlist, and I don't know what we'll call it, but there'll be some kind of playlist where you can see, watch all the videos in order. You know, if you come across this 6 months in the future, there's a playlist on my channel that has all of them. Okay, so for those of you who are currently watching live as I'm recording this, just hang tight. Nothing's going to change for you. For those of you who are watching in the archives or on YouTube, just go ahead and go to the next video if it's available. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next part of this series. Bye now.